All he knows is there's an open lane right here with his dominant hand, and his defender is coming this way, away from the ball. Here's a fun fact I learned about Micaiah Hebert today. He does his laundry on Fridays. Look at that spin cycle from the quarterback, gets it into Rocketshaw territory. And speaking of hungry, let's bring in our own Tristan Rupert, who cannot keep his hands out of the candy jar in the sports office. Tristan, I know it was you who took my Reese's Minis, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to focus on this big game between Gulfport and Ocean Springs. They played as complete and well-rounded a basketball game at this stage that I have seen in the last couple of years from anybody, not just South Mississippi teams, from anybody. They were that good. About 2 hours ago, all of these seats in front of me, to my left, to my right, and behind me, almost to the top of this section and the one to my left, were full of hockey fans here in South Mississippi waiting to hear the words that they've been waiting for years to hear. Hockey is coming back. Since then, here's the amount of interceptions Cade Crosby has thrown. Not a single interception in 2 months of football. This team is running itself like a Fortune 500 company right now.
Abby Beausarge is a superstar. The Pass High senior was voted captain of the soccer team and is the youngest member of the Gulf Coast Monarchy football team. Both high accomplishments, and both thanks to her tremendous work ethic and fierce passion.
It's not really just like I was born with the talent to do this sport, but I loved it so much that it made working hard to get better easier. I would run outside of practice to get my endurance up. I would sit out there at our little soccer field with the goals set up, and I would, just practice.
It's that same work ethic that has helped her fight the most difficult fight of her life.
We thought she was going to the hospital to get fluids, just some IV fluids. We thought she was dehydrated because she had been ill, and we never came back.
In June, just months before her senior season was set to begin, Abby was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. Since then, she spent nearly every day at hospitals in 3 different cities. But this past week, she came home to see family, friends, and teachers for the first time in months. Before Pass Christiane's game against Gulfport, Abby was honored with her own senior night and a chance to see people that make the Pass her home.
To see them there, like actually right there, it just blew my mind, the amount of people that, cared, that were, out there supporting. That's not just some cards getting sent to you, they're right there. I feel so, so lucky.
The love shown towards Abby is a testament to the amount of love Abby shows towards everyone.
She makes friends with younger patients, and she cares for them. She cooks for the staff. I mean, who does that when they're incarcerated into a hospital for months, battling a life-threatening disease? And she just spends every day caring for others.
The support from the Gulf Coast community, coupled with her ability to organically create a smile, has helped her keep fighting. All thanks to that superstar work ethic she learned years ago.
I always tell myself that, you worked hard on the field, you can work hard in a hospital. No matter where you are, no matter what is ailing you, no matter what you think you could do, you can always work hard. As long as you give your best and you can go to sleep at night knowing that you put everything you had into this day, then you're doing something right.
The Pearl River women's volleyball team was the first junior college program of its kind in Mississippi and is the youngest active program at PRCC. With an astounding record of 22-3 so far this season, the Wildcats are already making their presence felt nationwide with loads of roots from right here in South Mississippi. In 2019, the Pearl River volleyball program played its first official season. Just 3 years later, and the Wildcats are on the short list of the country's top teams. Led by 8 South Mississippi products, Pearl River earned its first ever national ranking earlier this week.
So Monday, right at 2 o'clock, we started check-in, and I wasn't with them, so I just sent it to them in our group message, and they were so excited.
Oh, it was so awesome.
Yeah, I was so excited. We worked so hard to get that.
We did. It's surreal. It's one of the greatest feelings I've felt in a while.
Head coach Haley Chatham has been with the program since day one, but with some of her players for much longer. Before becoming Pearl River's first head coach, she won a pair of state titles at Van Cleve alongside 4 current Wildcats.
I've had a relationship with these girls, and they came in, most of them kind of knowing what to expect and knowing the standard they were going to be held to, and they just reached it.
Like, it's been so nice to have her with me throughout my whole time. It's more than I could have imagined.
From high school to now,
It's like more comfortable.
it's an easy fit. Like, you just fall in and you already know how everything's going to work.
Having familiar faces in your locker room is a bond difficult to replicate.
It's meant a lot to me. I'm glad to have her by my side. She's a freaking great teammate, awesome on the court. It's relieving to know that she's out there with me.
But the connection that starts with Coast natives spreads to each and every member of the team, whose hometowns stretch from west of New Orleans all the way to the eastern coast of Florida.
They've definitely left a lasting impression on my life, and I think this program is amazing, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
It's been a steady climb for the Wildcats, who nearly doubled their first-year win total in their second season. But in the monumental third season, it's that unique bond that's helped propel them into unprecedented heights.
This group, they decided to really take care of each other, play for each other, lift each other up. If somebody's having a bad day or is down, they give them lots of grace. That has been the difference maker this year. But the whole team, they've just made the decision that we're going to do whatever it takes, and we're going to do it for each other.
2 of the nation's most high-powered offenses met Thursday night in Starkville for the 118th edition of the Egg Bowl. So surely we had a shootout on our hands, right? Well, thanks to a little rain and a little bit of wind, we certainly did not early on. A defensive slugfest broke out in the first half, with neither team putting together a fluid drive until midway through the second quarter, at which point State led 6-3. Not exactly what Bully and fans signed up for. But with just over 2 minutes left in the half, Snoop Connor notched the game's first touchdown from just a yard outside to make it 10-6 Rebels entering the break. Less than 5 minutes into the third, Connor did it again, putting the pressure on Will Rogers and the Bulldogs. Wait, did someone say pressure? Well, that's what Sam Williams has done all season for the Rebels, and he did it right here with one of his 2 sacks on the evening. Lane Kiffin knows he can nearly ice it with the scoring drive, and Matt Corral puts the finishing touch on it to make it a 3-possession game. A Jaden Wally touchdown for the Bulldogs gave State fans a prayer, but nothing more than that, as Jerion Ely would turn the lights out on the next drive, keeping the Golden Egg in Oxford and giving Lane Kiffin his second rivalry win.
We run the ship, boys.
This ain't Starkville, this is Starkville. Send them home saying one more time.
Now, Ole Miss finishes the regular season with 10 wins for the first time in program history, while Mississippi State ends its campaign with a record of 7-5. And now the next up for both teams is waiting to see where they will play come bowl season. Reporting in Starkville, Michael Dugan, WLOX News Now.